Put that right here. Do we have the base? There we go. Whew.
I'm good enough, thanks.
Sorry, thanks.
Yeah, please, thank you. Which one don't you want?
Good? All right, we'll get started. We'd like to welcome the winner of the 2023 RBC Canadian Open, Nick Taylor, to the interview room.
Thank you.
Nick, you're the first Canadian since 1954 to win this country's National Open. What does it mean to you?
I heard someone shout out there everything, and I don't know any other word to use other than that. I think it's a tournament that we've circled on our calendar since probably junior golf, but ever since been on PGA Tour, this is one that we want to do as well as we can in, and the crowd support was the most unbelievable thing I've probably ever experienced in my life. To kind of break that curse, if you want to call it, is I'm pretty speechless. I don't think it's going to sink in for quite some time what happened today.
Nick is the fourth Canadian to win on the PGA Tour this season. That's the most in Tour history, and he moves to number 6 in the FedEx Cup. So, Nick, as you let these emotions sink in and you look forward to the rest of the season, you had a big finish in Phoenix. You get the win here. What does this set you up to do the rest of the season?
It sets me up great for the FedEx Cup playoffs. I wasn't in a good spot, but needed to keep the pedal down. I feel like, the play is so deep out here that I took some time off and had a couple missed cuts, and I was falling quite far down the list. So, I knew my game was where it was. It might have been a little bit rusty coming off some time off, but everything just kind of clicked here the last 3 days. That's probably the best I've struck the ball, tee to green, and the putter was hot. It's been great for 4 or 5 months now, but to shoot 20 under the last 3 days, I definitely had everything working, which is very rare. So that was special.
All right, we'll take some questions out here. If you have a question, we'll get a microphone to you. We'll start right over here on the left with John.
Want me to go first?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't realize you had the microphone.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to the longest press conference of your life.
I'll take it.
Take us through the winning putt.
It was long, obviously. We knew that the finish line would be the best way to put it. We knew about the last 15 feet because I had that in the second playoff hole. With the rain coming down, the slope, obviously, we knew it was going to be slow. It's so easy to leave that putt 10 feet short from how far I was. And to get it there was obviously a bit of a surprise, honestly. But I felt since we learned a bit from that second putt that we knew generally what it was going to do. There's a lot of luck for that to go in the hole. The speed is all I was looking about. Tommy probably had about 12 feet, and I expected him to make it almost like the first playoff hole. So I was trying to get as close as I could to essentially know that he had to make or miss to keep going. So for that to drop was a huge surprise, but an amazing one.
Pass it to your right, please, Jason. Sorry, one back there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Obviously, this has been the holy grail of Canadian golf for 7 decades. What do you think is the next target for Canadian golf?
I think major championships is what we're all striving for. I said it this week. This is 5th on the list, I think, from the 4 majors. With Mike Weir having the Masters 20 years ago, Corey's played unbelievable the last 2 or 3 years in a lot of major championships. He's been inspiring to play well at the top of the best fields out here. And that's the next step, Hopefully I'll be in a lot more of them. I haven't been in enough as I'd like I've really my whole career. So, I think next week there's 7 of us there. So hopefully we can do the same thing. The more time we're up at the top of the leaderboard, lucky bounces like that will go in the hole. So hopefully that starts happening.
Congrats, pal.
Thanks.
14 months ago, when you and I were trading messages about your equipment, some of the things that were going on in your life, and that I sensed a bit of a crossroads at your age, at 35. Was there a crossroads? Were you feeling like you needed to make some changes for Nick Taylor to go from here to here? What was your thought process when you and I were kind of going back and forth on that? and how does that correlate to today?
After last season, with all the changes that were happening going to the playoffs, I snuck in there. My first week with Dave Markle, my caddy, was at Wyndham. We snuck in. I missed the cut the first playoff event, but I knew what I was doing needed a bit of a tweak. So that fall, or not the fall, sorry. I think we had 5 weeks off or so. Chris Bertram is a mental performance coach. I went and started seeing him. We kind of set a plan out, like a good year plan. Started changing a few things. Nothing crazy, but a few. I went, I was doing work with my coach, Mark McCann, Gareth Faflewski, and then locally when I was in Abbotsford for that time off, I went and saw Ryan Hawley. He's more like he has like dual foot pressure mats, so it's just another, I thought, element maybe that could help me. And you know, the best thing that Dave has been for me, I think, is realizing, because I've been around him a long time, is that I am pretty good, and he tells me that every day. And there's certainly times that I, probably lost sight of that, and he's been incredible for me on the golf course, and it's shown this year. It's been, shots that I probably typically don't make, I'm making, and I think he has that magic for whatever reason. So yeah, it was a productive 5 weeks in a sense where I've kind of wiped the slate clean and wanted to. I didn't want to revamp anything, but just look at it hard and be like, where can I get a little bit better? And the more focus has been kind of 1% a day, one little thing a day, and stick to the process. And leading up to this whole season, it's been a very consistent season for me. So this is obviously the cherry on top.
We'll go to Adam, then Lucas, then John.
Nick, congratulations. It's
Thank you.
obviously super early, but have you allowed yourself to realize maybe the trickle-down inspiration that this win might have for another generation of Canadian golfers?
Yeah, I think it's hard to imagine because I feel like I'm still that kid. But, I go to a handful of golf courses when I'm back in Abbotsford in the summers, and it's great to see junior players and know who I am, say they're big fans, playing golf. So I know this will only help that generation. I look up to Mike Weir, and if kids say the same thing about me, that's the biggest compliment I probably could ever get. But we're all trying to do that out here. We're trying to inspire the next generation to be as good as we can be.
And I assume you and Andy spoke already. How was that conversation with your family back home?
There were some tears. There was, I got to say hi to Charlie, and he was probably shocked when what the hell was going on. I made a big shot, though. That's what he said. So, yeah, it was a quick call to say hi, but I'll be talking to him later, obviously.
Lucas?
Hey, Nick, congratulations. What did it mean to have Adam, Corey, and Mike there on the green, not only at the 72nd hole, but then to join in the celebration when you won the Canadian Open?
It means everything. I feel like we all support each other so much. If I'm to stick around, I think all of us have said it this week. If us individually weren't the people to win, we really want another Canadian to do it and break this long drought. So to have them there, it's amazing. I've looked up to Mike Weir and watched him play golf for so long, and for him to be there is special. Same with Adam and Corey and kind of all the guys.
John?
Hey, Nick, congratulations.
Thank you.
You have such a stoic demeanor on the golf course, but I'm wondering what it was like inside that head, and was there any moments during the playoff where it sort of either wandered to victory and what that looked like?
Oh, it wanders plenty. I try to draw back on experiences, and luckily I've had quite a few this year where they're relatively fresh of that situation, and try to just focus on what I was doing. My confidence probably has never been this high, especially the last 3 days of the shots I was hitting consistently, the rhythm that I had out there, and I was seeing the lines really well with Dave. So it was just one of those things. I felt like the rain coming down, and I felt like the fans were really pulling us to the finish line, really trying to keep the energy up, because it was obviously a long day, and each playoff hole can go. You can lose focus for a split second, and you might lose it right there. And I got a fortunate lie probably on the third or second or third playoff hole when I hit it through in the rough there, and luckily Tommy didn't make birdie, but there was lots of wonders, I guess, lots of thoughts wondering.
You talked a bit about the technical changes you made. A month ago, you were saying that you had a habit for sort of searching for answers, and you got rid of that. And how did you do that? And have you sort of tried to find the player that you were when you were world #1 amateur? And has Dave helped with that?
He certainly has. I think that's been again a point of focus, especially starting in January of. Okay, we know what kind of makes me tick with my certain drills, and even I missed the cut at the PGA and Colonial, and I hit it pretty nice. Didn't make a whole lot of putts, especially at Colonial. I got a talking to probably from a few people, but I think I was putting too much pressure on myself, so my attitude on the golf course, was reflecting the bad scores, and I was coming this week wanting to be positive, wanting to be acceptance, work on that, and the first day just wasn't great at it again after a few tough holes on that back nine. And, to be where I was in the 7th hole, I remember the first day, my 16th hole with 10 feet for par, and made that, and birdied 8 and parred the last to kind of like somewhat be in the cut site. So to be standing there and then sitting here today is pretty remarkable, to be honest.
Go 2 on the left here.
Mike Weir was saying that, this is a different tournament to win. It's different than any other golf tournament for a Canadian. Like, how did you feel about that when you were out there? Did it feel different than any other tournament you've played?
Yes, that's the short answer. I was getting ovations on every tee box and every green. That was incredible. I felt like that spurred us onto that back nine. I didn't look at a leaderboard. I had a sense of what was going on. I thought that the front was playing a little tougher than yesterday, and I played that 9 incredible this week. I don't really know why. But I had a sense of where I was, with just the energy. And then after 16, when I bogeyed, I kind of wanted to know what was going on. So to see it there, I knew I needed a birdie to tie Terrell at the top there. And, to make those 2 putts in the last 2 holes, it was huge. Pretty fortunate that Tommy wasn't able to birdie 18, and then again in the playoffs. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
In the chaos of the celebration, did you notice what happened to your old pal Hadwin?
Corner of my eye, I saw he got a nice tackle there. I hope he's all right. I saw he was upright when I saw him later, so I hope he doesn't wake up tomorrow morning with any broken ribs or anything.
He was saying he was hoping he sprayed you with some champagne. Did he get any on you?
My hat stinks, so yeah, I think it did.
You're good? Okay. We'll go over here in the 3rd row on the right.
Hey, Nick.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You mentioned looking up to Mike Weir earlier. What effect has he had on your career, maybe even with the waggler and everything?
At the age I was at, I think I was 15, almost 15 when he won the Masters in 2003. That was right when I was dropping pretty much every other sport and focusing on golf. And to have Mike win that tournament, I think really made everyone believe that we could do it, coming from a country like we do, where golf isn't ideal for. It wasn't quite half the year where I grew up, but 3-4 months you're not really touching a club, and it's inspirational, and he's been a big part of a lot of us. I can't not mention Stephen Ames. He was great to me when I first started playing out here, and in some of the U.S. Opens when I was an amateur. And even over from that, Graham Dillette, David Hearn, guys when I came out here were great influences on me. So I feel like we're kind of a brotherhood out here, and everyone's kind of pushed each other along, and now we have so many guys out here. It's phenomenal.
One in the front right here.
Nick, congratulations. An achievement such as this deserves to be celebrated. How might you celebrate, and with whom?
I don't know the answer to that first question. My brother, my caddy's here. We have some family. Unfortunately, my wife and kids are back home, and my parents, but we'll be together. That's all that matters, I was lucky to win 2 other times other than this, and I think I did laundry the one time and maybe had pizza the other time, so hopefully we'll up that here.
Got one towards the back there.
Hey, Nick, congratulations on winning.
Thank you.
Just wanted to ask you, what did it mean to have the whole fans on every single hole, and especially during the playoffs on 18 and 9? What did that mean to you, just know that not only the whole nation behind you, but everyone here at the golf course as a whole?
it was the most incredible atmosphere I've ever been a part of, and it's not even close. I think even walking to the first tee today, walking to the first green, there's ovations on every single tee and green. When when Tommy would miss and they'd cheer, I kind of felt bad for him, but I knew just how pumped they were, and they're trying to put every ounce of energy into it to help me pull it through. And to have that moment, I blacked out when that ball went in with Dave. So I'm curious to watch that, what we did. I don't even remember what we did, but that was an incredible moment.
Another one towards the back on the right.
Congrats, Nick.
Thank
Just
you.
wanted to ask you, when did you agree to do the walk and talk?
Yesterday.
Okay,
So
you
I
did-
was told, your boy Jack here, texted me last night, and I was like, I'm fine doing that. I feel like I don't think it got me off my game. I felt like it was a cool thing to do. I think it's a cool idea they started, and kind of doing it every week. I think you said it was supposed to be yesterday, but something kind of got sidetracked. Anyway.
Kudos for sticking with it, man.
Yeah. Again, it was a small chat going up to the ball and then to the green. So, it all turned out good in the end, I guess.
Love it. Congrats, bud.
Thanks.
Jason over here on the left.
Nick, this win is going to transcend golf in this country, and it's likely to go down as one of those where you win moments, like a Sidney Crosby golden goal or a Joe Carter home run. And I'm just wondering how it makes you feel to know people are going to be having that conversation about something you did.
I don't even know how to answer that, because those other moments were, for me, like, where was I when Sidney Crosby? I was watching with college buddies down in Seattle. That's a really hard question to answer, because it's to think that I'm the person that people are thinking about is kind of breathtaking. So yeah, I think it'll take time to realize kind of what's just happened. But yeah, it's a hard one to answer.
Any other questions for Nick? All right, well, Nick, congratulations.
Thank you.
And best of luck the rest of the way.